Compared to their golden age in the 80s, the Eels have fallen and are now at one of the lowest points in their history, with loss after loss pounding in the fact that the Eels have fallen off in recent years.
Thought we tried hard, just a few things went against us, and then how did we lose that? Because I felt like we'd done more than enough to win it.
How did the Eels fall so far from their prime? What caused this massive shift in power? And can they ever reclaim their glory? And we'll have to dive deep to get the full picture. By the end of this video, we'll have gotten to the bottom of the reasons and factors that contributed to Parramatta's downfall, and ultimately why the Eels have fallen off. Now firstly, the decline of the Parramatta Eels from their peak in the 1980s can be attributed to a combination of factors. Injuries, coaching changes, recruitment, and retention issues, the impact of the Super League war, and management decisions. These outlines don't give us the whole picture though, so let's start at one of the biggest points. In the late 80s and early 90s, the Eels were plagued by injuries to their star players, which dealt a heavy blow to their performance. The cost of retaining high-profile players under the new salary cap also forced the players to discard many promising juniors, further weakening the team. Some notable examples of this point are Eric Groth Sr.'s time with the Eels was marred by persistent knee injuries, requiring multiple surgeries. Though his admission of occasionally faking injuries complicates the full understanding of his injury history, that's not really important. Jeff Bugden was also plagued by injuries. He suffered a serious knee injury in 1979, and he was impacted by a serious chest injury in 1983 that led to his temporary retirement until he broke his arm in 1985 after just returning to the field. These players were incredible assets to Parramatta, helping them stand their own against the other top teams in the 80s. A lot of these stars retired or left in the late 80s and 90s though, ending their golden era pretty quickly. But why couldn't they just get new stars and continue to develop their team? A huge factor that kept the Eels from keeping their spot on the podium for more than a couple years was the departure of successful coaches and the appointment of new ones who couldn't replicate the previous success. For instance, after John Mooney left at the end of the 1989 season, Michael Cronin took over, but the team finished poorly in the early 90s. Jack Gibson is credited with transforming the Eels into a dominant force. Under his leadership, the Eels won 3 consecutive premierships in 1981, 1982, and 1983. In 1981, the Eels won their first premiership, defeating Newtown Jets 20-11. In 1982, they got another premiership by winning against the Sea Eagles, and in 1983, they completed a 3-0. He succeeded Gibson and maintained the team's high performance, leading them to another premiership in 1986. Mooney focused on maintaining the high standards set by Gibson, and while introducing his own tactical innovations, ensuring the Eels remained competitive. He stayed with the Eels from 84 to 89, but after that was Mick Cronin. Mick Cronin, a former star player, took over as coach in 1990. His time there saw a decline in the team's performance. In 1990, the Eels finished 8th, and in 1991 and 1992, the team struggled, narrowly avoiding a wooden spoon in 92, and the year after that, they finished 11th after a promising start to the season. Despite his legendary status as player, his coaching tenure saw a significant decline in the team's performance, due to the challenges of replacing retiring stars and adapting to the new era of rugby league. Unfortunately, the club's recruitment strategy then couldn't get the players they needed, with many new players failing to make a significant enough. Just quickly, if you like the idea of getting a new perspective and learning more about rugby league, then subscribe. A lot of work goes into my videos. Anyway, back to the Eels. In recent years, the Parramatta Eels have faced significant criticism for their strategic decisions. Many people have pointed out that the team has invested heavily in players who have not delivered consistent results, leading to poor performance on the field. Key issues include investment in underperforming players. The Eels have spent heavily on players who have not met expectations, contributing to inconsistent performances. Lack of depth and quality. Injuries and suspensions have exposed the team's lack of depth, particularly in the backs, and their inability to produce or retain young talent has been a concern. Coaching. Coach Brad Arthur has been criticised for not inspiring consistent performances, and the management has failed to address these issues effectively. In conclusion, the decline of the Parramatta Eels from their peak in the 80s can be attributed to a combination of factors, including the end of their golden era, injuries, coaching challenges, recruitment and retention issues, the impact of the Super League war, and general management decisions. These factors have all contributed to the Eels falling off from their prime in the 80s. If you watch State of Origin, check out the video I made about the insane history of State of Origin, which has made its way into our culture so far. If you liked the video, drop a like and comment on if you think the Eels might get a premiership in the next couple years. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.